let's discuss my most anticipated releases for February 2025. We have cottagecore, we have a lake monster, we have vampire sapphic romances. There are so many intriguing books coming out this month, so let's get into them. Hello, fellow book lovers, how are you doing? My name is Annie and this is my channel where I love to talk about books. I absolutely love making new release videos because I get to sit down and get hyped about books that are coming out that might not be on your radar, that have only recently come onto my radar, and I just get this little buzz of talking about brand new books with you. I know a lot of people do these videos at the beginning of the year or at the midway point to talk about a selection of books that are coming out. I much prefer to do it this way because you get a longer selection of books that may have not been announced at the beginning of the year or might have slipped under the radar a little bit, or maybe just didn't fit into that video, because if you're trying to talk about 6 months worth of releases in one video, you're going to want to keep it short and snappy, whereas in these videos I get at least 15 to 20 minutes to talk about loads of different books. Plus this way I can keep up with new releases and add them to my wish list and not miss out on anything. It's such a fun video to make, it's such a fun video to film, and I hope it's a fun video to watch. I'm going to stop talking now because there are quite a few books that I want to talk to you about, so let's just get into the list. So the first book is These Vengeful Wishes by Vanessa Montalban, and that comes out on the 4th of February. So this one follows a vengeful spirit with a thirst for justice that ignites a rage within a teen girl. This one says it's going to be great for lovers of House of Hollow, so I'm calling it now. It's a 5-star read. This is a YA horror fantasy and it explores mother-daughter relationships, feminism, Latinx folklore, self-discovery and empowerment. This is also apparently quite atmospheric and suspenseful. Why do I lean sideways so much? It looks ridiculous. It feels ridiculous. Why am I doing it? Let me just read you the tagline for this book. They think the dark can hide their wickedness, but I see into their rotten hearts. I'm going to be honest, I added this to my wish list without even reading the synopsis because of the House of Hollow reference, but that tagline makes me excited. So we follow artist Cece, who moves back to her mother's house when her stepfather is arrested. Her mother lives in the small town of Santa Aguas, which is steeped in folklore and legend. So legend has it that this town is haunted by a spectral woman named Lesegua, who haunts lonely roads at night, luring men to their deaths. Cece and her mum move into the abandoned manor of a family that is rumoured to have been cursed by the witch, and Cece begins to unravel her mother's past. The more she learns about the family that used to live in this manor, the more she finds herself getting closer to the spectral woman. And she believes that these paintings that have started coming to her in dreams of a door in the forest are actually being given to her by Lesegua. And when that very door appears in the forest, she ventures through it with her friend and her crush, Jamie. Together through the door, they discover a well that grants wishes, the Well of Lesegua. They learn that others are searching for Lesegua's well, and Cece must confront her mother's past and prevent Lesegua's well from being used for the wrong reasons, because using this well comes with consequences. Next, on the 6th of February, we have The Bones Beneath My Skin by J Klune. This is another cozy fantasy, as are most of the other books that have been written by J Klune. I really loved The House in the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door. This is heartwarming, it's adventurous, it explores found family, self-discovery, LGBTQIA+ romance. It has small town charm, basically everything that his other books have. So this book is set in spring 1995, where Nate has lost everything. His parents have died, his older brother has disowned him, and he has recently lost his job as a journalist. With nothing left to lose, he travels to his parents' summer house in a small mountain town with hopes of finding a sense of direction. He expects to find the cabin empty, but to his surprise, it isn't. There he finds what's going on? There he finds a man named Alex and a mysterious little girl who calls herself Artemis Darth Vader. It soon becomes clear to Nate that he has a choice to make. Drown in his past or fight for his future. Because Artemis is special and there are forces descending on her who want nothing more than to control her. I'm really looking forward to this and I really want to know more about Artemis Darth Vader. which, let's not lie, is a really cute name. I feel like it's supposed to be really quirky and out there, but let's not lie, I would absolutely name my child Artemis Darth Vader. And actually that's quite funny because the Sims family I am currently playing, my main character is called Artemis Sherlock, and I don't think that's much of a stretch. The next book, which comes out on the 11th of February, is The Forest King's Daughter by Ellie Blake. This is a YA fantasy, and it has elements of adventure and romance. It has a strong heroine, a friends to lovers plot. It's a coming-of-age novel. It centres around a war. It features forests and woods. And it's also said to be quite slow-paced. So I can't make my mind up about this book because obviously it follows a forest and the Forest King's daughter, which just sounds right up my street. But this also has a romance plot and also war, and I'm not that comfortable with books about war. Although I have enjoyed some books with a war element, so maybe this will be one of those. Maybe it's something that I will like despite the war element of it. But the forest element is just too much for me, and I will have to pick this one up. Despite all of the other things that point to me not liking this, it features a forest and magic. So, once upon a time in the blood-red forest of Thirstwood, a forest princess befriends a lonely boy from the underground. He gives her a worthless trinket in the form of an amber ring, but he soon learns it wasn't as worthless as he once thought, because as soon as he slips it onto the princess's finger, a war breaks out between the Queen of the Underground and the Forest King. Years later, Cassia is a crucial force in her father's war. Because of the power of the ring, she can blind and debilitate her enemies in one foul swoop. But then she is abducted by Zeru, who plans to steal the ring back and right his childhood wrongs. They are forced to travel together to a land that they once believed only existed in storybooks, and their childhood friendship rekindles into something new. But it's only a matter of time before the war catches up to them, and a hidden threat to both the forest and the underground grows in the shadows. Like I said, the war side of it puts me off, but the magical forest side absolutely pulls me in. On the 13th of February, we have Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. This is an adult gothic fantasy and is said to be a fierce and powerful retelling of Carmilla, the story that inspired Dracula. So this is a lesbian romance with a touch of horror and the supernatural. It's dark, it's atmospheric, it explores female desire, queer love, and a feminist empowerment. So 10 years into their marriage, Lenore and Henry's relationship has started to sour, and no child has arrived to rekindle that gap that has now formed in their marriage. Lenore's frustration only grows when Henry's work takes them out into the countryside, to the crumbling Nethershore manor. And here, Henry plans to host a hunt. But Lenore is keeping a dark secret from the last time that Henry hunted. And both of them have vowed never to speak of the horrors that happened, and has cast a dark shadow over their marriage ever since. A carriage accident occurs near the manor, and this brings the mysterious Carmilla into their lives. She is weak and pale during the day, but vibrant at night. She will not eat with the family during the day, but she stirs up a hunger and desire within Lenore. Torn between rekindling the relationship with Henry or exploring the desire she feels for Carmilla, she begins to unravel her past. Her search leads her to uncover a darkness growing in her household that threatens to destroy her. Lesbian vampires, sold. I can't believe I didn't feature this in my new and upcoming vampire books video. This would have been such a good one to talk about. I'll have to mention it in my next one when I do a part 2 to that video. So also on the 13th of February, we have The Sirens by Amelia Hart. This is another YA fantasy. This is said to be atmospheric and magical and explores the unbreakable bonds of sisterhood, the mystique of the ocean, family secrets, and the power of the human spirit. So in 2019, Lucy wakes up in the middle of the night with her hands wrapped around her ex-partner's throat, and she has no idea how she got there or what she is doing. Desperate for answers, she flees to her sister's house, hoping she can help explain the vivid dreams that have been plaguing her leading up to the attack. But her sister Jess is nowhere to be found. As she waits for her sister to return, she unearths strange secrets about her sister's town. Tales of missing men throughout the decades, a baby abandoned in a sea cave, and whispers of women's voices carried on the waves. And then in the 1800s, we also follow Mary and Eliza, who have been torn away from their home and forced onto a ship heading to Australia. As the boat takes them further away from home, they start to notice strange changes within their bodies that neither of them can explain. I am so excited about this one. I don't know why, because it doesn't fit my usual book pattern. It's not like dark, but I don't know, it just seems kind of exciting. I was quite looking forward to this author's previous book, Wayward, and then I heard some negative reviews and I decided not to read it. But recently I've decided to give it another go. It's currently at my library, so I'm going to pick up a copy from the library and give that a go, see my thoughts. So we will see which one I manage to pick up first, Wayward or the Sirens. Coming out on the 14th is The Rose Bargain by Sasha Payton Smith. This again is a YA fantasy, and this follows Celtic mythology, forbidden love, and a Regency setting. Set in an alternative Victorian England where every person gets a wish granted by the immortal Queen, we follow debutant Ivy Benton, who is determined to use her wish to restore her dwindling family fortune. But when the Queen announces a competition to win her son's hand in marriage, Ivy instead sets her sights on the throne. This is a whole new side to fantasy for me. I have never read a Regency debutante Bridgerton style book. This is complete new territory, but I am really intrigued to find out a little bit more. I am not the biggest fan of historical, but I am intrigued. I want to give this one a go. I want to find out more. On the 18th, we have Unhallowed Halls by Lily Wilkinson. This is a YA dark academia. This book has Gaelic mythology, boarding school. It discusses self-discovery, complex friendships, secrets, and mysterious societies. I'm just going to read the synopsis that I've written for this one because it is very, very short. American teenager Paige Whitaker travels to an exclusive boarding school hidden deep in the Scottish moorlands after a deadly incident at her old school. But the wood-panelled halls of Agathion are built over centuries of old secrets, including an ancient society which may have ties to demonic magic. New friendships blossom, but not everything is as it seems. That sounds really intriguing to me. I really like the Scottish element of it. This one sounds really, really intriguing to me. I can't wait to give this one a go. Next, on the 25th, we have Green Teeth by Molly O'Neill, and this one I have pre-ordered. I am so excited for this one. So this one says, narrated by a lake-dwelling monster, this is an utterly charming tale of fae, folklore, and found family. How cute does that sound? This sounds like it's going to be so weird, so wholesome, so dark. I'm so intrigued. This is an adult folkloric fantasy, and it has themes of found family, quests, British heritage, self-discovery, and the fae. Jenny Greenteeth has never spoken to a human before, but when a witch is thrown into her lake by an angry mob of locals, something within Jenny decides that this woman is worth saving. Temperance doesn't know why her townfolk have turned against her, but she has a feeling it has something to do with the malevolent new pastor. All Temperance wants is to return to her husband and her children. The two unlikely companions must come together to defeat the evil that threatens Jenny's lake, Temperance's family, and potentially the whole of England. Like I said, I've pre-ordered this one because it sounds truly wonderful. And last on this list, we have The Wildest Things by Andrea Hanna, and this also comes out on the 25th. This is a YA sapphic Snow White retelling, and it says, if Snow White is to save her kingdom from being ravaged by the blight, she'll have to kill the evil queen's daughter if she doesn't fall in love with her first. So when Snow White's glass coffin suddenly shatters, she wakes to find the kingdom nothing like how she left it. The land is rotting, the animals are mutated, and a blight has ravaged the whole of her kingdom. She sets out on a dangerous journey to find answers and potentially cure this plague. She knows if she has any chance of surviving and saving her kingdom, she must become a season keeper and access the life-giving magic that will heal the plague. But the path to becoming a season keeper is far from easy, and wild things are awakening, and Snow's dark impulses might just set them free. This kind of gives me Heartless meets The Poison Heart, with the botanical magical plant side of The Poison Heart paired with the retelling darker side of Heartless. I absolutely love fairy tales. I absolutely love botanical themes in books, and Snow White is one of my favourite fairy tales. So yeah, I'm really excited for this one. I genuinely don't think I could pick just one book from this list for which one I'm the most excited for. I am really excited for all of these books. picks. There are quite a few other books that I am looking forward to in February, but this list was just getting too long and I didn't want this video to be going on for hours. I just wanted to keep it as short as possible. So let me know your thoughts on these 9 picks. Which one of these intrigues you the most? And is there another book that you are really excited for in February that I have missed off this list? Let me know down below. I'd really like to hear your thoughts. If you would like to subscribe, I would absolutely love to have you here, but I'm gonna go now because I really want to carry on reading my book. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, have a lovely rest of your day and I will see you again in my next video. Goodbye.